Welcome back to another edition of The Forge, where two enter. One leaves champion, and one leaves beaten, battered, and bruised. It has been a little while since we've had an episode of The Forge, and in case you've been hiding under a rock, Set 4 has dropped, and with it, some new cards adding to an already ever-growing pool. And we have squaring off to show off these new cards, Zwaxor, the Forge Watch Invitational number 2 champion, all-around stud player. I would mention his other accomplishments, but we don't have all day. We also have Zrandles, or as I call him, the greatest player in Soulforge. Results, maybe not as impressive as Zwaxor. Maybe they are. I don't know. You'll have to be the judge. But we have two titans of the game squaring off. Will they both play Wagyus every turn all game? I don't know. Let's take a look at their lists. With Zrandles here, he is indeed running a Wagyu list. Let's see. How standard does this thing look? He's got Howl of Zith, which I like quite a bit. He does not have, however, Druid's Chant. What about you, Jake? Are you running Druid's Chant in your Wagyu decks?
Yeah, that's a little bit interesting. I'm running Druid's Chant right now, but I would like to say about that card, that card sucks in all situations where you don't have a Wagyu on the field. So I kind of like pulling it to just increase the consistency of the deck and have less bad cards,
Yeah, what I've done is I've moved down to 2 Druid's Chants and 2 Howls. And I may just go to 3 Howls, 1 Chant, just to have one around.
Sure.
I also don't have Direhound in my deck, and I don't have Spirit Bloom Dryad. So we actually have quite a number of interesting changes. What I do have is sort of the fundamentals of Sludge, Wagyu, ways to grow him. Virix Embrace is a good way. Howl of Zith is a good method. Oros is a good method. Stag. It's interesting that some of his other choices are a little bit different than the choices I have made. How similar to your list is this looking?
Well, this is similar to one of my lists. I think that you're running, with Brood Queen, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a firm believer that if you're going to run Wagyu, you want to run Brood Queen to protect your Wagyu.
Right. Okay. So, as you can see here, he's not running Brood Queens in this list. He's running, the Dire Hounds in those slots. I guess you don't have Spirit Blooms. I like Spirit Bloom personally. It's a good body, and a decent amount of life gain.
Yeah, I like Spirit Bloom. I took it out because in Wagyu mirrors, it's really annoying to grow their Wagyu.
Sure, but you can't play in Wagyu.
Yeah. Then you're in these weird spots, but it might actually go back in for, say, one of the Druid's Chants. I'm still sort of working on it. I actually have Soul Reaper in mind because I love Soul Reaper. The problem is it's kind of terrible when you don't have enough things to reduce, and Embrace is not quite enough on its own.
All right, well, are you running Scythe of Chiron or no?
I am. I'm running 2 Scythes.
Okay.
I'm also running 2 Hermits in mine to be able to have a little bit more control over when I have healing effects and things like that. What's going on in the background there, Jake?
I don't think anything's going on.
Oh, well, someone is having some problems in the background, so you should probably mute your microphone if that is you.
Is it? Tell me.
I'm not saying it's you, Jake. I'm saying whoever that is.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. It sounds like the background noise is gone. All right. Yeah, so someone has noted how does Zrandles kill an opponent's Wagyu? I don't know. I think we'll have to see that. Maybe he just grows a bigger Wagyu. That's why I play Brood Queen. Brood Queen is my board control, and then Wagyu is my, hey, I get to win the game with Wagyu.
Yeah, he has a couple ways to kill little Wagyus, but in terms of handling a Wagyu that has already grown, he's a little bit short on ways. Brood Queen is good, as you mentioned. The other card that I've been seeing a lot is Botanimate. People have been using just because it's non-conditional other than level, right? So.
Sure. Yep. I'm not a huge fan of Botanimate myself, but I can understand how it would be useful. So, bottom line is Zrandles isn't running anything too crazy here, but he doesn't have a lot of board control. It looks to me like his plan is this. I'm going to play a Wagyu, and I'm going to make him really big, and then I'm going to win.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you found that type of plan to be successful, Jake? Not sure.
Gigantic.
What's that?
out for me.
I'm not able to hear you for some reason.
Okay, I just got you back now. Can you hear me now?
Ah, yes. What I said was,
Okay.
has that strategy been useful for you? Has it worked for you to just grow a giant Wagyu and then win off of it?
You could say that it has. I think the earliest was a 1.2 concession. I had.
I had the same. I had the same.
Yeah.
My concession went like this: first turn Wagyu, he went double
Yep.
Wagyu. I went, I think it was like Druid's Chant followed by Sludge killing his 2 Wagyus, and then he conceded. So, yeah.
Yep, that'd do it.
I think it's safe to say we both had some giant Wagyus from time to time. Well, let's take a look at Zwaxor.
Yeah.
We can only assume he's playing Wagyu, and that we'll have hot Wagyu on Wagyu action. What? He's not playing Wagyu.
What?
What is going on here? This deck is very interesting. I have not tried this particular deck yet. I've tried a lot of decks, and I've tried something similar where I have Gargoyle, Sentinel, Nexus Aeronaut, the Gauntlets. I love all that together. What I'm confused about is Brimstone. We'll have to ask Zwaxor. The only thing I can think of is that with so much armor, you're not as worried about Brimstone killing your own guys. Do you have any thoughts on why he would be in there?
I mean, I like Brimstone in theory in an armor deck because you can potentially make good use of that, but I'm not sure that it's really needed.
Yeah, I'll have to hear who the targets are. Like, I like Brimstone if you're running, say, Dozer or Thundersoar, and so then you're both hitting their guys and you're triggering your own guys. This just seems like an odd place to have him.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's needed. But
Yeah, and
hey,
Windweaver is
that's
interesting.
fine.
This is a sign to me of how good Windweaver is, that this is not a deck that needs movement. All his dudes have movement. Windweaver's stats are good enough, though, where why wouldn't you play him to give Killian and Sentinel movement anyway? You might as well have it if it's a possibility.
Well, and it ups the movement of the other guys. I mean, more slots. I mean, that's actually one of the defining weaknesses of Aeronaut is that his movement doesn't scale by level. So even at level 3, he can only move one spot. If you have Aeronaut who can move right across the board, that is completely insane.
That's true. That is a good point. All right, well, let's bring these guys in. I want to hear a little bit about these lists. So let's start with our friend Zrandles here, Captain America. What's happening, Captain?
Not much. Good to be back.
Good to have you back. And so what do you do about removing your opponent's threats, sir? It doesn't look like you have much removal here.
I don't. It's sort of the all-in on Wagyu plan. And actually, I haven't really touched this deck in a few days. I was playing it early on and just sort of threw it together. But I knew that you wanted me to show the... so I decided to trot it back out. I think the Brood Queen variation might be a little better. I probably lose the mirror with this one, but I have all kinds of ways to trigger that level 2 Wagyu.
Yeah, and that's really where the power is. That level 2 Wagyu becomes absurd so fast. So I'm going to ask you, Zrandles, what's the fastest you've won with a Wagyu deck?
Well, not counting concessions, probably it's got to be like 2-2, maybe
2-2?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
2-2.
And what's the biggest Wagyu you've had?
I think he doesn't usually get much above the 180 range, 160 range.
Yeah.
Because then they die. Yeah.
Somewhere in there, probably in a game that I was about to lose the turn before.
Yeah, I've had a couple of games like that. One of my favorite games is was Clearly Dead, and I had like a Wagyu 3 out, and then I was able to power it up to exactly 100 with like a howl, like maybe even a double howl or something crazy like that. Just everything came together just perfect to be able to kill him out of nowhere, and I'm sure he was not very happy about that. That's always fun.
Yeah, he's fun when he works. He can be a fun card, but I think he's a little too easy to get going. So I don't know. It's the first forge of the new set, so might as well trot him out there and show everybody who hasn't seen him
Yeah.
what it's like.
Yeah, Wagyu for me is the one card of this set that stands out as, you know, in a set that's really well designed and crafted. He doesn't feel crafted at all. It feels like they were just like, let's make a busted guy. Whoop. You're like, oh,
Here he is.
okay.
Yeah, the set's really fun. I don't even know. I don't think Wagyu is necessarily the best deck. It's it's just so easy to get to a situation where your opponent doesn't get to play anymore, which is why it can be fun.
That's my thought as well. Like if he didn't have breakthrough, he would be a really interesting card because you could grow him big, but then you'd have to do things to figure out how to exploit him. Your opponent can chump block. Sure, it costs them actions, but at least they can chump block. The way he is now, sometimes it's just like, well, that's how the cookie crumbles. I lost already.
Yeah, the other thing I noticed is that it seems like every guy that loses defender also gets and can never get defender. And I think that makes sense on like a jetpack, but I don't know why that has to be the ability always. Like he could lose defender and then still be able to be Uranti bolted or something. I don't know if that's some coding in the game engine where.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I haven't asked anyone about that. I'll have to reach out to my contacts and see if they can inform me on that one. It's a good question. All right, well, let's bring on Zwaxor, the reigning champion, the king of all things Soul Forge. Zwaxor, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Oh. Thank you.
All right. Well, good to have you. So, what is going on with this list? Where's your Wagyu?
Well, I do not play life game decks by principle.
By principle? What does that mean?
Yeah, it feels janky. It's like it has to come together properly, and like the games I lose against it, it feels like they got lucky. The games I win against it, it feels like they got an average draw, and I don't want to be. I guess it changed with Wagyu, but I don't want to risk it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still like that. It's only the difference is before, if the life gain deck didn't get going early, it lost. Now, at any moment, it can win.
Yeah, I actually played against a guy who did that, who went like 2.4, Wagyu 2, random life gain spell, put it to like a 16-16, 3.1, Wagyu 2, Glow Stride 3, +30 to his board, and I lost.
Yep. That's why everyone hates Wagyu.
Yeah. I don't like the card either.
Yeah.
But this deck is pretty much the brainchild of Stoutmeister of A1, our resident brewer. And this list is like one card different from what he made originally. I cut one Brimstone Tyrant for a Glacial Crush.
Okay. Interesting.
To fight Wagyu, basically.
Sure.
And other gargoyles.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. It's a really interesting deck. You're going to have to tell me, why is Brimstone in there? Who is he targeting?
I'll say that the key difference between this deck and the list that Turkish piloted to a second place finish in the last World Championship qualifier is that this deck runs the Killian Scorch main package. And that does mean that you sacrifice some early game, and Brimstone is basically in there to recuperate some of that loss of board advantage. Where like Killian plus the Brimstone Tyrant can actually kill just about anything, just with the hits. And also, like when you're playing Scorchbane, sometimes you don't draw your Killians or Battle Branch, you still want to level it. Replacing a Scorchbane egg is risk-free, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. That's a good point. It's a good delay tactic instead of playing like a Firestorm or something that's just kind of bad. You're getting a body and a bigger Firestorm.
Yeah, and also, of course, like Bright Steel Sentinel into Tyrant is a blowout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got all kinds of things with that, with the gauntlets, the sentinels, even the aeronaut has a fair amount of armor. Should be interesting. Okay. And then Crush is there, like you said, for the metagame right now.
Yeah, basically. Like, every other deck is playing at least like 2 or 3 defenders in their deck. So it seems like pretty value to just have that underleveled kill spell.
Sure. And what about the Windweaver? What do you think of her as a card? Do you think her numbers are a little bit inflated for her ability?
It's very pushed. Like it's as you mentioned earlier, it's only in here just because the card is that good. Like I wouldn't build a 10-piece deck without putting 2 copies in. I don't think at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too good. It has so much value as an underdrop. Its stats means that it's actually not horrible to level. It's just an amazing card.
Yeah, it feels like a card where one of the levels should be weaker, because all 3 levels are great and it has an amazing ability, and that kind of worries me.
Yeah, I agreed. I think the level 2 should be weaker if that was what they were doing, like a 10-7 instead of a 12-9 or something like that.
Yeah, 12-9
Uh,
is ridiculous.
because those stats are like Frostmane Dragon levels, and the ability is a lot better than making the egg. So
Yeah. It's one of the best abilities in the game, I think, just because there's so many things you can synergize with it. And even in your deck, where you're not actually using the ability, it's still useful.
yeah, exactly.
All right, well, what do you think, Zwaxor? What are your chances to beat Captain America?
Well, if I've heard this matchup correctly from my teammates, it should just be like me playing mobility eyes and explosives and killing his Wagoos all day. So I'm expecting like I don't know, maybe a 3-2, hoping for something easier than that. But Zrandles is a really good player, so can't expect too much.
Okay, so you're going to beat him 3-0. Heard you loud and clear, friend. All right, we didn't get to hear Zwaxor, so we're going to go back. Zrandles. We're going to go back to him for his prediction. Captain America, how badly are you going to beat Zwaxor?
Well, I kind of feel the same way. He's a really good player, and he's on a deck that's pretty flexible that will let him have quite a bit of counterplay to me. So it kind of comes down to, can I extend the game long enough to drop a giant Wagyu? I can occasionally win on the sludge train as well, but I think probably not against this deck. So yeah, hoping for a 3-2 win.
Okay, sounds good. Jake, who are you taking in this one?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like, do you want to put the faith in the Wagyu? Or do you go with the deck full of the good cards that I've been playing for so long and have been playing recently? I just don't know. What do you think?
Oh, boy. It's definitely going to be close because I feel like Zrandles' deck is at a bit of a disadvantage here because explosives should be able to do quite a bit of work against it. There's going to be a crush that hits at least one of those Wagoos. Zrandles is really all in on Wagyu, a little bit more so than, say, a deck that I would be running, which worries me a bit. But there's going to be at least a game, if not two, where a Wagyu just does silly things, and maybe there's going to be three.
Sure.
But I'm gonna pick. Do I pick Zwaxor? I think I'm gonna pick Zwaxor.
You think so?
Yeah, I hate to do it.
You know what? I'm gonna ride the faith train. I'll take Wagyu then.
All right. It's just always a bad idea to pick against Zrandles, but Zwaxor is awesome also. So it's
yeah, you
it's a
think
lot
you would
easier.
learn your lesson originally, picking against Zrandles on the Forge.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna be furious. Don't tell him I picked against him.
Okay.
All right, well, let's get this thing going. So we've got Zrandles versus Zwaxor, Battle of the Titans.
All right, let's do this. Apparently I'm a little bit quiet. If you want to turn me up a bit.
Yeah, I'm working on the volume as we go, so if
Okay.
people have input on that, I'm happy to hear it. Oh, look at that friends list. Neither of these guys have cleaned out their friends list.
Not been cleaned yet. I cleaned mine day one. I deleted everybody,
Yep.
and then I tried my best to avoid playing against Tiny Grime so it doesn't show up in my list.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I was really hoping they would just do something simple like, say, alphabetize it, but that's apparently too much.
Maybe someday. Come on.
Which is fine.
Set
I mean, it was a
7 or
big
8.
patch.
Set
There's
7
all
or
kinds
8.
of stuff.
Give them some time here.
I'm going to let
That's
that one
coding,
slide.
Matt.
All right, here we go. We got a Wagyu. We got a Wagyu sighting, Jake. But you know what? On the other side, we've got a Battle Brand or a Tyrant or whatever he wants to kill this Wagyu.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, I don't know that he's going to get a lot of traction from level 1 Wagyu against this deck.
Yep, I agree.
Level 2 Wagyu is going to be, maybe the sweet spot here.
See, that's an interesting play to me. Running gauntlets, I think I normally would have leveled the Sentinel there because level 2 with the gauntlets is so powerful. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. All right. And not surprisingly, he's going to play his two characters. He's leveled 3 great level 2 cards that synergize well together, so that's good. Problem is, Zwaxor comes right back with Battle Brand into Scorchmane, and then I guess the question is, what does he play? I think he plays Gargoyle, but he may play Aeronaut. Both of them seem like reasonable choices.
The Aeronaut's there, putting the damage down.
Yep.
Trying to get Zrandles below 100.
Yep. He's got him there.
He can. Well, no. With the attack, he can go.
Look at this hand.
Up above
This is
100
the
for sludge
Wagyu
damage.
dream hand. Where the hell is Wagyu? You know that's what Zrandles is thinking.
Yeah, right there. So he does go for the Spirit Blade.
Yeah. And then he'll battle, and then he'll be able to double sludge. So it's not a bad hand, but
Not bad at all.
not perfect. He would have liked some Wagyus. He really needs a Wagyu here on the next turn to have 2 of them leveled, I think.
Yeah, he needs to get a second one leveled. Hello.
Do we have the wrong deck list? Is that what somebody said?
He's drawn a Wagyu.
I don't know.
Druid's
Wow.
Chant isn't on the deck list, so yeah, Druid's Chant is not in Zrandles' deck. Unless it showed up in his hand. I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't remember seeing it. Oh, I don't think he does. I think people are just commenting that they were surprised he doesn't have it.
Oh, yeah, he has no Druid's Chant.
All right, so is he going to do here the Sentinel Gauntlets maneuver? I don't think he is.
For 7? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he's going to. Okay, he's going to move him over.
Oh, he does have Druid's Chant, I guess.
He does?
Yeah, we just didn't even notice it in the hand. Cause it
I
looks
wonder
so
if he
nasty.
loaded the wrong list or sent me the wrong list.
I don't know. He has secret Druid's Chant.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so what does he do here? Does he go... Oh, wow, never mind. He doesn't have a life gain card. He has 28 life gain cards in his deck. None in his hand.
Well, they were all in that last hand.
Oh, man. It's such an awkward hand, too. I think if it
It's
were
okay.
me...
I think you just play double Wagyu. You play Wagyus in 1 and 5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think I double Wagyu here. I think Zrandles, I've seen him play this deck. He's more sludge-oriented than I am. I could see him going a sludge and then a
Sludge
Wagyu.
in a Wagyu? Yeah.
Yeah. Because he wants to stay really close to 100. He's got now 2 leveled sludges. They're going to be really strong. Not surprised to see him do that. I personally would have done double Wagyu and given up on the sludge plan this game. But that's, difference of opinion.
Holy.
All right. Well, here comes the Glacial Crush.
Okay.
And we're seeing why that can be annoying.
I was saying he moved over. I don't think Crush is coming. Yeah.
He didn't play the Crush.
Well, you don't need to level Crush. I mean, sure, it goes free, but whatever.
I guess. Yeah, probably better to put the threats on the board.
I think playing the Crush.
Oh, what do you do here? Double Wagyu? Or do you go 1 Wagyu and play, say, the Howl for 16? I think you do. Yeah. One thing I've learned is Wagyu 2 is actually better than Wagyu 3.
Oh, yeah. Wagyu 2 is definitely the sweet spot.
Because Wagyu 3 can be a pain in the rear to turn on. It can get crushed for many turns. Unless you're able to level all the right life gain spells. It's more restrictive. Wagyu 2 can kill them just as easily as Wagyu 3 can, and quicker. And it is dead. Wow, poor Zrandles. Things not working out right. Yep, that's what I would do. Play the Wagyu, and then I would play the Oros to get it to 3, rather than buffing that Wagyu. I wouldn't worry about that Wagyu. I would just consider that Wagyu a Wagyu 2 next time around. But he's buffing it.
He's buffing it up.
I don't like that play because I really want that Oros to 3. I feel like you pop an Oros 3 down with a Wagyu and they panic. But that Wagyu's probably getting battle branded, would be my guess. Oh, maybe not. How much does the Brimstone do on 2? I'm not actually sure.
Brimstone 2.
Would it kill him?
I have to check that, to be honest. I've only ever played Brimstone 1 at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a 2. I think he's going to battle brand the dragon anyway, which makes sense. Okay, so he's going to Brimstone.
Brimstone does 6 on level 2. 4, 6, 8.
He seems to have not done any damage there. Am I missing how Brimstone operates? Is it only when he goes in the same lane as somebody?
Yeah, he has to replace. It's an upgrade.
Oh, he has to upgrade.
How he works. Yeah.
Oh, that's even better. So you have options with him.
Yeah. For sure, you don't have to do the damage.
All right, I like that. See, I don't even really know how that guy works.
I can see that you haven't actually ever even read Brimstone Tire.
I've read him. It was a while ago, though. All right, so that's pretty good. He's leveling the right cards. Zrandles is in some trouble. This is really going to be one of those Wagyu games. Can Zrandles pull off Wagyu out of nowhere and win, or is he just going to get steamrolled?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he'd be in a better spot if he had placed his Wagyus differently earlier in the game, to be honest.
Interesting. So if I'm Zrandles here, I'm definitely worried at this point. He can go Oros just to level it. He can go Scythe to try to minimize the damage. He's got a number of possibilities here. All right, so Stag plus Oros.
Scythe and trade, I think, is
Okay, so he's going that way.
Cut the damage down. You know, trade off a guy, whereas otherwise you're not killing anything.
Oh, this is a tough hand because if he plays just Wagyu 2 into Oros 3, bad things can happen to him. Like he could just get that Wagyu removed. So he kind of needs to do something like Chant, which might not do anything anyways.
No, I mean, I honestly, I would consider just slam Oros, Scythe of Kyre on the board, and pump the Oros by 20.
And then hope to draw another Wagyu 2 since he has 2 more.
Maybe draw a Wagyu. Maybe you just gain 36 life next turn.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually, because he's playing the Wagyu 2 to the board.
His board into oblivion, because Scythe 2 is just insane how good it is.
Yeah, with this board, this is kind of a wow moment where you look at it and go, holy cow, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I like putting him there as well.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't want to block one of the bigger guys at this point.
Take no damage.
You want to keep him alive. Just hit back next turn with full potential.
Boy.
Oh my goodness.
Could get crazy. Let's see what
goodness.
Zwaxor can do. Maybe he can string some plays together here to make something happen.
Oh my god. Zwaxor needs to. Oh my god.
I think Zwaxor just lost.
Zwaxor's dead.
Which is crazy. That's why this deck is bonkers. Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't actually see a play
here.
for
The
Zwaxor
Oros play has paid off handsomely.
Yep.
So handsomely.
He's gonna battle Bran. He's gonna get him to where he will kill him next turn. The problem is the damage will have been done. Sort of, actually. No, because he doesn't. Okay, he can hide one in front of a gargoyle.
He hides one in front of the gargoyle. He hides one in front of the gargoyle, and he plays probably not the second Wagyu. He plays Sludge to block.
Yep.
Like Sentinel, say, or maybe Dragon's a better block actually.
You could also go siphon the dragon onto the Wagyu or something else.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I think maybe that's the way to go.
He's just gonna howl. I agree. Actually, look how big that howl makes that Wagyu.
Yeah, what the hell was I talking about? Howl's like 1,000
What are you talking about? Howl was clearly the right call.
Yeah, wasn't even close. Yeah, so now he wins.
Yeah, now he wins next turn.
That's ball game. And that's Wagyu. Dumbest card ever.
So, this got crushed this game.
Yeah, Zwaxor demolished Zrandles, and Zrandles was like, what?
Him at every turn.
No. I was never behind in this. It just looked like it.
I handle what you do, and I advance my board, and I have a full board of big level 2 guys. And then, boom.
Yep. He got it. He got hit with the Wagyu. You know Zwaxor sitting over there and going, you gotta be kidding me.
How can you not?
He was so dead. He couldn't have been deader.
And see, that's my problem with Wagyu, is because I don't think that I wouldn't take Wagyu to a tournament myself, because the deck naturally has some consistency issues based on the fact that your deck is built around 3 cards.
Yep, I agree.
But Wagyu just has the highest power spike you can possibly do.
It's like a combination of Grimgaunt Devourer and Phoenix. Like when Phoenix's insane luck side, and then the Devourer's growth if Devourer was on steroids of some form.
Yeah, it's like if Phoenix was its 2.4 self, and also it sometime randomly goes 150
Right.
power.
So it's like
So.
the most luck ever in a card and the most power spike. Which I'm fine with having lucky cards. I just don't like them to be good cards that win the game and there's no answer.
That's the thing. You want to have lucky cards in the game. Okay, everyone, and sometimes they're going to be utility, which could be interesting. But if like one of the top decks is built around a card that is based around that whole principle, then I'm not a fan of that.
Okay, so this is an interesting moment. He could go Embrace to try to get a level 1 Wagyu a little bit out of control, but I think he's realized his opponent just has too many answers.
Yeah.
And so he's just leveling the threats that are going to help him win later.
Yeah, his opponent's deck is stacked with ways to kill a level 1 Wagyu, even if he grows it, like, say, to 6-7.
Yep.
Or even 8-9 off Druid's Chant. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think, his best shot is with level 2 Wagyu. And if he pulls off the slam dunk, then I guess level 3 Wagyu can do just fine.
Yeah, yeah, if he gets everything to work perfectly. All right. So what's his opponent gonna do here? All right, so he's gonna do gloves. It's interesting. He's not too worried about the Wagyu apparently, because he can pump it now a fair amount. The question is that worth it, or is it just better to play the Wagyu? Like, is it better to go Wagyu Stag, get a little pump, rather than going like maybe even Stag Druid's Chant and getting a 13-14 Wagyu? That's kind of hard for him to handle, actually. I mean, there's a possibility of him growing sort of out of control, but I don't think in this matchup that's the right play. I just feel like
on the level 2 Wagyu plan, like play Wagyu and Warrior, Druid's Chant, and just stay safe, keep your life total up. And,
no, it's fine. Zrandles, it's no problem. So, what's he gonna do? He is gonna Wagyu. I think that's the right play. I think Chant is the right play here, because then you can
I like Chant here.
Take him down. Go back over 100 for your sludge. Yes, he's gonna go to 98, but he can pump it back up again.
Do we know what he doesn't have from the deck list?
Have we seen a Tangle yet?
Yeah, we saw Tangle.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what isn't in his deck, because we've seen Scythe and.
I bet it's a 2 of either the Dire Hound, the
yeah.
Embrace, or probably the Siphon room, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. What's he gonna do here? He could get crazy, like super crazy, and go Stag Howl, pick up 7. He'd have a 15-16 Wagyu. That would be really hard to handle. If this could be the one where he wins on like 2.2.
On an early Wagyu, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, if he decides to go that route. The safer route would be to go like Stag, Oros, or maybe even Stag Scythe.
I kind of like Stag Scythe, to be honest.
Problem is it doesn't give you the health.
How really both, though?
I think it
Well, yeah, I mean, you buff the one on the right side. It's going to have 14 health.
Oh, yeah, sure. But still, even 14, I feel like it's doable. I kind of think I like Howl here. I
think
okay.
I like
Oh,
Scythe.
wow, look at that.
He goes on the
He's
Stag.
going to Scythe the Stag.
Sure, well, he's splitting his targets around. He makes a third good guy rather than being all in on, one big guy. I think that's pretty solid.
Yep. So let's see. What does Zwaxor have here to respond? Block plus Battlebrand is only 11. Battlebrand plus Explosives is not going to be enough either. It looks like that Wagyu in 5 is going to live. So we'll have to see if he can run away with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is dangerous. Zwaxor really needs to handle that and get that out of here, because...
Yeah, he's in a precarious spot for sure.
Coming.
Okay, so he is going to go this route.
Sure.
I have to assume he's going to hit Wagyu and not the Stag. He goes for the Stag. Interesting choice. That surprises me. Wagyu 2 plus Stag 2 is obvious and perhaps game winning.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Stag 2 is such a backbreaker in this deck.
Yes.
He's really the enabler that I think I love the most.
Yeah, I think that's game. I mean, I haven't carefully looked at his options. Oh, he's got Crush. Wow,
Crush
that was really key.
The Wagyu 2. Yeah, that's key of a comeback here. But
if Zrandles does not have a pump, but he does, and he has
He
2
most
pumps.
certainly does. So,
I-
yeah,
The Howl will be 8. That'll put him at
just
20.
Varix,
The
Varix and
Embrace
Howl and win.
is good as well. It's enabling sludges, growing him.
Or Dizzy and Siphon
Oh, he's
works too.
siphoning. Okay, interesting. I thought he would Howl. All right, he's
I like
gonna
Howl better. Yeah.
I like Howl as well. And
And
that
that's lethal.
is that's game.
2.2. Yeah.
That's game. So we got to see the runaway Wagyu, the level 1, and the comeback Wagyu, level 3. And real quick, I picked Zrandles, right?
No, actually, you didn't. See, you went against the code. You picked against Zrandles on the Forge.
Just to be
It was
clear,
Big Almighty who showed up with the faith in the Wagyu and the faith in the Zran handler.
I'm pretty sure I picked Zrandles.
Morning.
I'll go back and look at the tape later, but I'm
Right.
99% sure I picked Zrandles. Yeah, so as you guys are asking, if Wagyu didn't have breakthrough, he'd still have done a lot of work. He just wouldn't have killed Zwaxor before the game even got started.
Yeah, I mean, he would eat a card. He would eat an action each turn. Later on when you have to jump luck to stay alive.
Yep. All right, so it looks like he's going Stag Sludge. He really likes this play. I might be more tempted to go like Oros here, but I don't know. I know Zrandles really likes Sludge.
I think he's going to Sludge. I think I actually agree with Sludge here,
Yeah,
too.
I think it's probably
Sludge
right.
Sludge is actually a really good card against the armor decks, so...
It's even a good card. Like, even if you don't get the pop, at level 2, it's basically a 13/13. It's just a really strong card.
For sure. I mean, if you're behind and you have leveled Sludges, sometimes you just got to play them. You got to play your good cards,
Yep.
right?
And this worked out really well. He gets to wipe out another guy. He's got 7 health. He's going to be a pain to kill. He got him under 100. He can, again, go, like, Embrace on him and kill him with
He's going
Sludge.
to Embrace and then
Yep.
Sludge.
It's a pretty obvious play, but the right play nonetheless.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that turn is that he couldn't level the Stag. He had to play the Embrace.
Yep, he hasn't leveled either Oros either, so that's, like, this is a bit different. I don't think he'll have the same level 3 comeback. He's going more for the Snowball, and I don't think he's going to be able to Snowball. I'm really second-guessing now these Sludge plays, which look good for the moment. I'm not sure they're best long-term.
Yeah, I mean, it comes... He needs to stay with this game plan. He needs to stay over 100 and rely on his sludges to do a lot of work against those armor guys.
Yeah, and they're moving, and he's got removal. I'm not sure he's going to be able to stay over 100. It kind of feels more like wishing than something that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm guessing he's going to play Stag, even though Siphon is kind of... I mean, Scythe is kind of interesting, but I don't think he'll do it. Oh, he's going to
Getting out
Siphon.
for Dizzy and Siphon. Get the dragon down. Maybe thinking about it.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah,
Otherwise he's
I
just going to
actually
move
quite
over.
like that as a leveled card if you're on the sludge plan, because then you have a lot of minus effects.
Yeah.
You can use.
All right, so I'm
also
going to make
have
a
a lot of
prediction.
buffs.
This is the game Zwaxor wins. I don't think the sludge plan is going to work. I think Zwaxor is going to find a way to get there.
Wagyu coming in right at the end.
Yeah, but it's only one.
The dream is alive, sir.
The dream is alive. That's true, but he hasn't gotten all the parts to enable the dream to fully
The
come
dream
alive.
is alive. Okay.
Wow. There's a lot of dragons.
Yeah, it really is a lot of dragons in this.
All the dragons. Wiping the board. Well, not wiping the board, but close to wiping the board. And he's got 2
Pretty
dragons.
close. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to definitely see Wagyu. And then the question is, where does he go from here? How badly does he want to stay over 100? Because he could go... Okay, yep, could Embrace there. I think I would have played Oros.
Takes the Embrace.
The problem with Oros,
I
though, is there was
lean
no
towards
safe
Oros.
place for that Wagyu.
Yeah, the dragons have the board covered, so.
Yep. I just really don't like that he didn't get a single Oros leveled. He had 3 chances to level them where they were all reasonable chances, and he made decisions to level all their cards. It wasn't like a spot where he didn't draw them or he had an obvious play that he couldn't play them. All 3 times it was like he could play them, he's choosing not to.
And a monster 2.1.
Yeah,
coming out of
Zwaxor is just smacks him
Yeah.
in the face.
It's like, hey,
That's a
dragons,
2.1.
get wrecked.
That is a 2.1 to write home to mommy about.
Yeah, for sure. That's the kind of letters I send home.
And now Sludge Belcher is gonna look. Oh, that's too bad. All right, so I think we're going to see here a battle brand on that stag, leveling probably the aeronaut, and then play an aeronaut. Maybe in the middle to get some bonus damage to take him farther under 100, my guess. Yep.
Oh, that damage hurts.
Yep. Now the sludge looks much less impressive. He has no
Sure
life
does.
gain in hand. Two
Yeah,
level
he's gonna-
1
We're gonna
Oroses.
take the dragon off with the sludge.
Yeah, you know it's funny. I say the sludge is less impressive, but he's still awesome.
Still beats a dragon too in combat. Scorch Main too.
Yeah, that's a good card. Okay, Zwaxor now doesn't have a monster hand, which has to be good for Zrandles here, but he
Let's
does get to
take the
do
Wagyu
that.
off. Let's take the Wagyu off because he gives the egg dancing
He
egg.
gets to poop. Oh, Windweaver, you are also broken. That card is so good.
Yeah, she's a nice card.
I really like that card. I wish the level 2 was more reasonable, like maybe a 9-10, so that I could feel better about that card.
Right.
Because I think it's a good card to have in the game. I just think the stats are inflated. All right, so we're going to see a Wagyu here for sure. He needs to set up that late game surprise win. Because the sludge train method has not worked at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting towards having the cards that he needs to do that, though, in early play level 3. He has a Scythe level to try and contain Zwaxor's board.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the Oros, but he has some Wagyu's level now. So
Yep. That's the play I wanted to see him make as well, was that Siphon. To get him a little bit bigger. He's hiding. He's got the Windweaver off. He's got a chance to do some things. But Zwaxor says explosives, says otherwise.
Which isn't shocking. I mean, it's only a 6 HP Wagyu.
Yep. That's an interesting choice he's making. He's leveling the 1 over the 2 because his opponent is not littering the board, so he doesn't need the 2 to wipe more than one, like wipe 4 guys. Upgrading from 1 to 2 is really substantial.
For sure. Against a lot of decks, I prefer to take another 1-1 over taking the 2 to 3.
I agree, especially since the damage doesn't scale at all. It's just simply the amount of guys you're
just
hitting.
more targets, just an extra 3 lanes, which can be great. I mean, don't get me wrong, the level 3 is insane, but it really depends what you're playing against.
Okay. There we go. Dragon
Mr.
3. Everything's going good. So Zrandles
Mr.
really,
Big
he
Dragon.
really needed the Wagyu here to win. I think he's kind of dead at this point.
To have a shot, yeah.
So he's probably
Yeah,
gonna.
I think
Was
the
he gonna
writing's on the
siphon
wall,
maybe the dragon onto the Oros
I think he'll siphon the gargoyle. Yeah,
with the gargoyle? All right, sure.
yeah. Take the gargoyle out of here.
All right.
And he played it second, so he doesn't get a buff.
Well, yeah, that might have been a blunder. It's not like he could have buffed the
I mean,
Oros either way, but I guess he could have done like.
wanted to buff the Oros for the block, I know, but there was.
Yeah, he could have done, say,
in my time,
Ebon
he might as
Hound.
well
And,
buff the Spirit Bloom.
oh well. He wasn't winning that one anyway.
Yeah, that one was, they
That one
comboed
was
it.
over. All over. The Wagyu
All right,
deck
so-
seems bad if you don't draw Wagyu. Yes,
Yes.
I will agree.
I would even go as far as to say the Wagyu deck is exceptionally awful with
Yes.
no Wagyus.
I had one game where my first Wagyu was 3.2. I did not win that game.
Yeah. If you want to
Oh.
test it, take Wagyus out of your Wagyu deck. See if you can win a game against anything.
No, thank you. I will pass that challenge, sir, and pass it off to you.
I
All
could
right.
do it.
So what's Zwaxor going to do here? He's got Dragon. Is he going to overwrite the dragon?
Game 4, 2-1 for the Wagyu deck right now. He just needs one
Wow.
crazy Wagyu
That's
win
really
out of it.
interesting. So that's how much Zwaxor is fearing Wagyu. Like a level 1 Wagyu can be so destructive that he threw 2 actions into it just to take it out.
For sure.
Which
He
lets
lost the game to a level
Zrandles then
1 Wagyu.
reply with this play.
I do like the sludge shenanigans.
Yeah, Wagyu is not at all a snowball deck. Wagyu is a just punch you in the face really hard.
I mean,
One
here,
guy.
let's clarify. Wagyu can snowball. if you get one and you snowball and then you win 3 turns later.
Yeah, sure. But it's
But
generally
you
like
can also
a...
do that out of absolutely nowhere from behind with a giant Wagyu. So,
Yep.
snowball not required. I mean, the closest analogy is probably, some kind of combo deck, because it is essentially a combo deck. But
Yeah.
I think the problem is that you're in a combo deck in a game that doesn't allow counterplay on your opponent's turn. There's no counter spells.
You can't break up combos. They just happen.
You can't hold removal in your hand, and your reaction window on a big Wagyu is often 1 turn.
Yep.
So it's
Oh.
it's a dangerous situation to say the least.
There we go. He got an explosive leveled
That's a
and
nice
gets to blow
explosive.
somebody up.
Take
By
off that
Oros.
Oros. Yep.
All right, no Wagyu, so he only got the 1 Wagyu again this game. I think he's going to level Oros, and I think he's going to maybe siphon onto the Oros. I know he loves those sludges, but I think that's what I would do. I think I would go like Oros in 3, siphon the dragon onto the Oros, kill him, leave the aeronaut for later. We'll see what he decides to do. Nope. He's going to stay close to 100.
Yeah, dire how. Yeah, I think that's totally
Yep,
fine.
that's a perfectly reasonable play. Everything dies. He's right near 100.
Keep
Get
his
those
life up.
sludges
Keep an
going.
attacking Oros on the board. Like, who cares if it lives through combat? If it doesn't get taken off, he's gonna get breakthrough damage and trample through, right? So
True. And if he had drawn the Wagyu too, could have been really good.
could have been amazing.
But Zwaxor does have a lot of removal, so you have to kind of assume that he'll
Well,
probably
I
hit
mean, yeah,
something.
for sure. He's not running an Invoker package though, so it's not like, oh, it's guaranteed definitely gonna die. There's no static shocks. There's no Invoker triggers.
Yep. But
Yeah,
there's Battle
so
Brand.
he has to battle brand it, which is fine though. I mean, he blocked on a guy, then got it battle branded.
All right, here we go. Wagyu into Embrace to kill the Windweaver. That would be my guess.
Yep, taking no chances here.
Yep, over 100. He's got sludges still coming. Things are looking pretty reasonable for Zrandles this game. Does he battle brand it? It doesn't actually kill him, but it brings him into range. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay, I thought he was going to battle brand the Wagyu to bring it closer to death. So this is a real opportunity for Zrandles. I think he's going to siphon onto the Wagyu. Keep it still defender, so it's hard to kill. And then next turn, he'll be able to just grow it to bananas levels with the Oros.
Yeah, see, I actually like doing the Oros better here. If he draws Glacial Crush, the Wagyu's dead either way.
That's true.
And the Oros, growing the Oros sets up the Wagyu too.
It does. It would have taken him out of range of Battlebrand 2, though, which, it's kind of this dicey spot. What's better there? I'm not entirely certain. Oh, wow. Zrandles has a very good turn here.
Sure
Wagyu
does.
2 into Druid's Chant, actually into Howl, is very strong.
I would even consider.
You consider Ebon Hound just to keep Oros alive one more turn. Let's see how much.
You also push damage.
Let's calculate the damage. So it would be 6. It'd be 6 from that versus 13 from the chant.
Yeah, no, he just chants. It's fine.
Yeah.
Does leave Wagyu vulnerable to Glacial Crush 1 turn here.
Yep. He's got that one moment to come in and
But
try to
as we
sneak
can
this.
see, Zwaxor does not have it. This was his chance. Like, he could Dragon 2 in front of the little Wagyu.
Yep. And this is what we both don't like about Wagyu, is that Zwaxor had one chance.
One turn.
He
Does
didn't hit the card, and now
can he
he
handle
loses.
the giant Wagyu? No. Oh, he loses to it.
Yep. And that's what I don't like about the design of the card. If it didn't have Breakthrough, all this would be happening, and Zwaxor would still be in bad spot, but he wouldn't have insta-lost. Whereas now the game's just over.
Instead, he is actually just dead. So.
Is he actually dead? He's actually
dead.
There it is. As
And
I
that's a 3-1
predicted
victory.
accurately,
As you predict, you didn't
Zrandles
predict nothing.
has won the Forge. Let's bring on our dear friend Zrandles, Captain America. So, Cap, you kind of put on a show there.
Well, kind of. I didn't play well at all, but
You don't have to play well. It's Wagyu, son.
Yeah, I think we should actually play another game, throw some other decks in there, but maybe in a minute.
Maybe we can do a rematch next week. I would be up for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it shows the power of Wagyu. You just have so little time to do anything about it. Um, it's so hard to pack answers for it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like games 1 and 4 demonstrated the problem with Wagyu, right? Game 4, he had a turn where if he could have found an answer, he would have been okay. And then in game 1, you were just kind of like, oh, you're just beating me into oblivion. Wagyu!
I mean, okay, game 1 also highlighted really Scythe of Chiron on an Orals 3. I mean, that was obviously huge and definitely contributed to the giant Wagyu, but just the giant Orals would not have won the game there. He still would have lost if there's no Wagyu to go behind it.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations,
it's not really satisfying to win like that. I would much rather have a game with a lot more decisions to make, more intricate play. I mean, that's just, I don't know. The deck plays as delay as long as you can until you get your giant Wagyu.
Yeah. And the problem, as I see it, is not just delay as long as you can to get a giant Wagyu, because lots of decks do that, right? It's that the Wagyu instantly wins.
Yeah.
And doesn't just win, but wins in humiliating fashion. Like, I just hit you for 100, chump. Oh, that's great. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a fun card. I think it should be more like Forged Guardian Omega, though, than legitimate constructed card.
Yeah.
I agree as well. I think it's a cool card. I would love to see it as a tier 1.5, tier 2 type of deck card. Either take the breakthrough away or make levels 2 and 3 not grow so high, or maybe do something crazy like level 2, it keeps defender till 50. Something to where you have time to kill it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you have to pack your deck full of either removal or ways to handle the Wagyu. You compare that to what's been in the past. Let's say when Brightsteel Gargoyle is one of the best creatures, bar none, was just the biggest guy on the block. You put Dreadbolt in your deck. Lots of people played Dreadbolt back in set 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't draw it right away, Gargoyle didn't kill you for like 6 turns.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And that was one of the best guys around. Even Scorchmane 3 kills you in maybe 3 attacks, and you can block in that time and handle him, even if you don't draw a removal spell. Wagyu, you have 1 turn. Do you have it? No, you don't. You lose. You die. That next turn. End of story.
Yep. That's definitely the problem. Like I said, I like the card. I think it's cool. It's just too much, not enough time to respond. Breakthrough makes it so that not only does it get 100 power, you can't even block it. It just beats it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we should say, though, that the meta right now is probably as fun as it's been, maybe ever. I think there are tons of entertaining decks.
Or including Wagyu?
I think even including Wagyu, it's really fun. Because there are counters to him. I think there are decks that have, 60, 40, or better matchups against Wagyu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
But I just don't like when you have to always be planning around a specific card, and there's not much you can do about it.
You can't leave yourself open to it.
Yeah, you just don't get to play. You don't get to play as much with it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's always going to be the best card in the meta, right? And the problem is making sure that best card in the meta is something that is handleable. Like, people hated Zemus 3. Zemus 3 won over, 18 turns. He just was a pain in the rear. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Zrandles. And we look forward to having you on next week. Hopefully you'll be available again next week. Maybe you can crush someone else with a Wagyu deck.
We'll see. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Well,
Yep.
we will see you all next week on The Forge, where 2 enter, 1 leaves champion, and 1 leaves beaten, battered, and bruised.